Let me talk about shoes real quick. I have pins and plates in my ankles, and so far so good. Even on that last 17.7 mile hike, I've really not had any problems with that. So when I started purchasing shoes, these are the Arc'teryx. I think they're like approach shoes. When I started purchasing all different kinds of shoes that I thought that were recommended highly, the Les Sportivas, I have to be careful about how far up that rim comes, because it'll start to rub on the screw that's sticking out the side of my ankle. But just wanted to, these are highly recommended shoes. I've worn them a few times, but of course can't wear them far because they start wearing on my pin sticking out of the side of my plate. But I've been trying different ones. The Saliwa shoes, highly recommended for the AT. They have great rubbers around the toe boxes here, because you are definitely going to encounter plenty of rocks on the AT, and if you have a shoe that has just nothing but mesh or mesh down low, it's going to get cut up, eaten up real quick and easy. So I definitely recommend when you purchase, whatever you decide to go with, that you make sure that you get a high rubber coverage all the way around the toe, because you will encounter plenty of rocks and debris and stuff that will eat up a pair that is fully mesh. And as you can see, this total section here is mesh, so it's very breathable as well. I also have the Salomons. I love these shoes. The guy at REI told me it was the #1 trail runner on the AT. Very lightweight. Love that shoe. Innov shoe. This is probably the lightest one, which, anytime you put a really lightweight shoe on, it feels great. Has a little different tread. Of course, all these have the Vibram soles on them, but good feeling shoe. I really like this shoe. Worn it a couple of times. My favorite has been the Arc'teryx. Now, these are, I believe, they were classified under the hiking, but they're like approach shoes. And so they have great cover, in the toe and all the way around, as well as additional rubbers here. And then the side is Gore-Tex, but this is all breathable on both sides. So, haven't had any problems sweating in them or anything else. They worked out fantastic. They are heavier than the rest of the shoes, such as the Salomons or the, however you pronounce that, Saliwa shoes. But one thing I do like about, and the reason why I brought these out is the Arc'teryx, same shoe. As you can see how it has, this is a rubber section here, Gore-Tex, and then the breathable sides all the way, they go up, run all the way back, is look at like the foot glove inside of this shoe. So if you can see that, it has a little glove that goes around your ankle so that, for example, you would not have to wear the gaiters, and it wraps all the way up around your ankle. Unfortunately for me, I can't use something like that because it rubs that pin in the side of my ankle. So I'm living and learning. Cook set. I started off with the 550. This is the Toaks 900 titanium pot. I started off with I think it was the 550, and it's adequate, but at the end of the day, the smaller pots that you see so many people using, they just simply, you're having to boil 2 or 3 times just to cook your meal. If you wanted to have coffee or you wanted to have hot chocolate or anything else, a cup of soup, and also your meal, so I went ahead and went with the 900 liter pot, just simply because I can boil my water in this, and it's good for both my drink and rehydrating my meal. So that knocks that out. Just a regular fuel system. This is the BRS titanium cook stove. As you can see, this little jewel folds down into nothing and fits in this little sleeve. Again, this is the BRS titanium stove. Nothing, using the regular fuel, and all of this fits right into the pot. So I didn't have to get the 900 liter to fit all this stuff. Now I have actually even more room in here for putting additional stuff. I do just put a paper towel down in there to kind of just isolate everything, to keep it from, you know, rolling around making noises. I also do keep salt and pepper, and I believe it's the some kind of steak seasoning there, as well as some of those little mini towelettes that you just simply drop a few drops of water on them and they turn into, you know, full-size wet towel. And that all fits in there. Also have a P38, great little item to have in your cook set. And just carry just a regular little scrungy, you know, Scotch towel to wash the pot out. And it fits in there, folds around here, and all fits down into the sleeve here on the outside. And this is also a little bit or somewhat of a insulated sleeve that I'm putting this in, and it closes down there nice and tight, and has a little place on the side here for a lighter. So, you know, great little thing. Don't hear everything falling back and forth. In the outside, in one of my additional pockets, I always carry a headlamp. I like to carry the different energy drinks that I like to give me extra electrolytes and things of that nature. Of course, vitamin I, everybody's familiar with. You know, and just some little odds and ends. I know it's all about the weight, but I do carry an additional headlamp and additional batteries. And of course, my most cherished AT pocket guide. So I have an extra one of those, just so you know. Carry that on the outside. We won't go into food. You know, everybody likes what they like. Mine weighs too much. I've got it in a 20-liter Osprey bag here. That's probably where the biggest place I could cut down on weight as far as that's concerned. But let me grab the camera here. So I carry just an Arc'teryx beanie, wool beanie, as well as just a smart wool neck liner, some merino wool not socks but gloves, a couple of buffs, and a balaclava, as well in my, you know, outside cold weather gear in case, you know, it starts to get cold. Now, as far as first aid and everything else, I've definitely overdone it here. I've got the Pepto-Bismol, I've got the anti-diarrhea pills, I've got the little super glue to, you know, seal up a wound or something. I've got some bobby pins. I actually do have needle and thread in there, as well as KT tape, which is great. And I even have, you know, an additional one that I carry. I carry one on the inside of the pack, which, you know, might be, you know, more traumatic if we, you know, we sprained an ankle or broke a leg or something like that. I also carry a couple of wraps that could also serve, people are always talking about knee braces and things like that, could also serve as something like, a knee brace or an ankle brace. So again, KT tape, anti-diarrheal pills, Pepto-Bismol, KT tape, some of the, I think it's loophole tape, duct tape there, and of course ibuprofen. So I carry one on the outside and one on the inside in case something were to happen, because with the packs that you've been looking at, that's the only other downside to them, is they're roll top packs. So in order to get to all your stuff, you have to stop, take off that pack, and you have to undo it, and you have to take this item, that item, etc. out of the pack to get to what you need. So that's why I've learned that anything that I might need along the course of the day is going to go in the outside in the pouches. So again, I've got too much when it comes to first aid, but you're out there, just anything can happen. I also am a guy that likes a fire every night. So I carry, of course, lightweight cotton balls soaked in Vaseline. I also have some of the little Esbit cubes. They don't weigh anything. Of course, this doesn't weigh anything. An extra lighter there, and some tin foil in case, the fire or the ground is soaking wet, as well as for, useful other things. I also do carry a backup water system. I do have the Sawyer Squeeze along with a Platypus bag, 2 or 3 liter bag, as well as I do have some water pills in there, and I do also have what do you call those, coffee filters. So if you do run across a body of water that is really murky and really messy, then before you actually run it through your filter, where it's probably going to clog your filter up, you might need to run it through a coffee filter, a dripper, before you do that. Again, just something I learned on somebody else's video. So again, hopefully that might be something that could be useful to you. As far as night gear, I've got just a pair of Arc'teryx lightweight wool gloves, a couple of ex officio pairs of underwear. I do have the REI mid base layer weight pants and shirt, a nice pair of cotton boxers because they just feel great. Also I'm the guy that's out there wearing shorts on the trail all the time. So I've got a backup pair of shorts and a short sleeve t-shirt, just a Under Armour wick shirt. I do have some sock liners, as well as a couple of pair of Darn Tough socks. The Outdoor Research Helium 2 pants and jacket, different colors. As far as my heavier winter gear, I have the Arc'teryx 850 fill down puffy jacket. This was one thing I did not mention in my sleep system in my other video, is that I do, again, not a necessity but a desire, it's the Nemo Philo pillow, and it is the Cadillac as well when it comes to the sleep system and having comforts and stuff of that nature. So hopefully, maybe possibly I've given you something that you might not have used